All right, man. Welcome to another Journeyman short, episode 2. I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all. So I was previously recording this hoe, and then this shit just crashed on me all of a sudden. So that's ass. So I gave you a full breakdown of what I was on since then, but honestly, I'm gonna breeze through it this time. But on another note, how y'all doing, man? What's been going on with y'all? Interact with me in the comment section, or message me, like, so on and so forth. I'm pretty good at responding, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, just tap in with me, for real. Tap in with me. But yeah, man, so let me tell you what I've been on. Work. uh I would say school, but right now school has been very laid back because I'm only in one class right now, and I need to sit down and go do this damn assignment sooner or later. But it's due Sunday, so you know how that goes. But yeah, man. Honestly, I just been kicked back, chilling, out the way, everything like that. The other day, I went out west to go see my old lady. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to campaign to get that back and stuff like that. So you know how that goes. But it was a cool trip, man. We had a good time. We went out to eat. Uh, you know, we walked around, looked at the scenery and things of that. Went into a couple stores, chopped it up with the family. Saw the dog. The whole 9 yards, and then I pushed back to my little area or whatnot. Um, Once I touched down back in the city, I linked up with Lou so we could bring y'all that new pod. Man, we were troubleshooting all damn night. And what it came down to is that, well, we just need new equipment. That's just what it comes down to. We just need new equipment. And, excuse me, that shit, it's not bad. It's not terrible. But I think it's annoying, right? Like, let's be honest, it's definitely annoying to be like, damn, like, cause like, man, we've been banking on this. We had set it up. We had set it up a time. Well, we ain't set up a time, but like, we decided Wednesday was gonna be the day we was gonna push that together, throw some shit together, and just launch it. Fuck it, like, you know what I mean, and just keep it pushing. But yeah, man, it didn't go the way we had anticipated, and that's okay, right? Because I think we learned a lot, what to do, what not to do, and things of that nature. So that's always good. But yeah, man, I have to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, bro. And this won't be no hate, but damn, brother, why is this a thing? Their current situation. So, if you haven't heard, and honestly, if you if you love just talking sports, love sports debates, bro, please go tap in with Undisputed, because that man Skip had a field day with the Lakers, and it's just crazy because it's like, Westbrook, man, like, I ain't gonna say that's my man's or anything like that, but it's like, damn, like, it ain't just him, you know what I'm saying? Like, because, like, at the end of the day, like, the turnovers, I understand. That's ridiculous. Like, bro, you need to do better with that shit. But, like, peep game, okay? To me, I think it's reads. You know what I'm saying? A lot of IQ on his part. A lot of the passes were bad. First of all, a lot of them were underthrown, right? But I think it's because he anticipated somebody being there. Because I think we have to factor in that Russ is used to playing with dudes that like to get out and transition and run. And I'm going to be honest, with the Lakers' age, they're not that. They're not that. And the main dude to run would be LeBron or maybe some of the younger guys, but a lot of the bench is hurt and LeBron didn't play, and a lot of the younger guys are on the bench who are hurt, so that plays a factor into that. And yeah, because some of those passes, okay, he threw an overhead pass, skip pass, to Dwight, who was rolling to the basket, right? If that's young Dwight Howard, he's catching that and he's throwing it down. And while granted, all these guys are hoopers, all these guys are professionals, been doing this for a long time, nobody can beat time. You know what I mean? Nobody can beat aging. And this is what it is, So I'm not giving them a break because at the end of the day, my boy, you had 10 turnovers. You can't do that, right? You just can't. But, yeah, a lot of reads, you know what I mean? And just to his dismay, bro is used to running with some youngins. Because even though he's 30-something, he still moves like a youngin. You know what I mean? And you be like, well, LeBron has the same thing. But it's okay, but Bron is a better shooter than Russell Westbrook. Bron let me say this. A lot of people underrate LeBron's IQ in a half-court setting. That's what people don't understand. He's been doing that for years. Where I feel like Russell Westbrook, makes better plays in transition than in a half-court setting. But, don't get it twisted. He can make the half-court plays, but the reads just need to be better. The passes just need to be more lasered and, so on and so forth. But I will say, dudes could do a little better job of rotation. Now, that's addressing Russell's part. My boy, okay, the defense is terrible. There's no reason why y'all should be defensively buns with an Anthony Davis and a Dwight Howard on your team. Also, Kent Bazemore, Avery Bradley, they have a bunch of guys that can defend. But it's not working out. So you tell me, right? Boys ain't hitting the rotations. Nobody's really switching, and at the end of the day, these young teams, these poo teams, are getting butt naked. And not every team is necessarily poo, because I don't want to say the Suns are poo. But if we're talking about size matchup, there's no reason why the Lakers are getting out-rebounded like they've been doing, getting out-rebounded. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, brother. The defensive rotations have been lackluster thus far. And so, what do? My solution? Obviously, to appease everybody, you're going to have Russell Westbrook start. Let's be honest. You're not paying him all that money to come off the bench. Let's just keep it a stack. And he's not trying to come off the bench. But the primary decision maker when all the starters are in is that it's LeBron James. It's LeBron James. Okay? Because here's the thing. Russ shouldn't be shooting as many threes as he's been shooting. But to his dismay, a coach would tell you, basketball IQ wise, if you're open, you should definitely shoot that. You know what I mean? And he can knock down threes, just not at a high rate. So to be wide open like that, you got to make them pay, or at least attempt to, so they can at least respect the jumper. But I feel like how Bron usually plays, man, or a successful Bron team has these type of archetypes on the team. You got a slasher, right? So that's your Kyries, your D Wades, right? Somebody that can get to the rim and score in the mid-range area tops. Bron was spoiled with Kyrie because Kyrie could really hit from anywhere, you know? But at least you got to be at least a 2-level scorer. You feel what I'm saying? And then they have the universal Swiss Army knife big man, right? The Chris Bosh, the Kevin Loves, the Anthony Davis, okay? So he has all the pieces to be successful. I just think that bro needs to go back to being the primary decision maker, at least when the starters are out. Then you can use the Steve Nash method where, right, the Nets, you know, they usually take out Kyrie and Kevin Durant and they let James Harden rock with the second unit. Okay, why not do the same for Russ? You know, because the Lakers bench, when they're healthy, is not a bad bench. So if we let Russ just rock out, you know what I'm saying, I'm sure things would be a lot better. But that's just my take. I could be wrong, could be right. I don't know. But that's what I would do. You know what I mean? And I would really convey to him is like this. It's not so much as that we don't want you to be you, because we still want that intensity, right? But I need that intensity on the defensive side of the ball, because as fast as you run, as strong as you are, there's no reason why boys is getting off on you. SGA, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander had 27. Hey, bro, John Moran gave, bro, 40-piece. Like, the list goes on, right? There's no reason for that. Like, I understand, you know, you up there in age, but damn, my boy, like, exert that energy on the other side of the ball, too. You dig what I'm saying? But, yeah, man, I just feel like you can't just keep shitting on Russ every time. You know what I mean? Granted, he is a big part of the reason why they're messing up, but we got to address the team defense. That shit is poo. That shit is poo. With and without LeBron. Come on, bro. Come on. But that's just my little game plan and strategy. You know what I mean? But I digress, man. Speaking of Russ's situation, right? You know, maybe this will lead into a little life lesson or some things that I've been learning as an individual. Knowing when to concede, right? So I think a lot of us in life go through life with a Russell Westbrook mentality offensive-wise, right? When the going gets tough, we go harder and harder and harder and harder. And most people would applaud you for that, right? It's not a bad thing. It's actually a good trait to have. But when it's going hard, when does the line really blur to the point where it becomes self-destructive? Okay? Ride with me real quick. You know, in that game, as you can see, the momentum was shifting, right? So any other point guard would probably like, let's slow the pace down, let's slow the tempo down, and let's control the game. Let's get back into it. Russ wanted to go hard because that's all he knows. That's all he's been taught really in life. You know what I'm saying? He has to go hard. Bro's from LA, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't shit sweet out there. So I understand it. I get it. You know what I mean? But with age and maturity, like, you have to realize that sometimes, man, it's okay to concede, right? And you like, are you saying become a quitter, Ashton? Nah, that's not what I'm saying at all. Sometimes there's certain shit in certain situations that's not for you, and the best thing you can do is bow out gracefully, right? Because at the end of the day, if it's not for you, why keep pushing for it? Why keep fighting it? Because oftentimes, right, you know, and this took me a long lesson. This took me a long time to learn this lesson, excuse me. I would keep pushing. I would keep fighting. When in reality, there was nothing to fight for, you know? Certain situations like that. Like, it really be like that. You know what I'm saying? And that goes with anything. Situations, people, you know what I mean? Money, all that, you know, your career. Sometimes, man, when it's not favorable to you, it is completely okay to go your own way. Completely okay. And sometimes, man, that's the best thing we can do for ourselves. So, I'm not saying quit, right? Because the tall tale sign of a quitter is that person will quit so often, it'll get to the point that they'll quit before they even try. That's a quitter. You ain't even put in the effort. You ain't even try. None of that. You know what I mean? You're ruled by the fear of rejection. And while rejection hurts, you know what I'm saying? Let me tell you, at the end of the day, it's a part of life. You know what I mean? You have to find your own way to get over that hump. You know, there's not no end-all magic secret to be over rejection or to not think of rejection. You just got to get it. You just got to get through it your own way. Point blank and simple. But I will say, man, if you're in a situation or you dealing with something to where, honestly, it's not worth your time, your energy, or your effort, it's okay to concede. All right? Sometimes, you know, often when we deal with people, we don't want to give up on people, but sometimes the best thing to do is to concede, bow gracefully, and let that other person figure it out. And you like, man, Ashton, you would abandon somebody like that? No. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really love and care about something, sometimes, man, hey, man, you got to set it free. You got to set it free and let it grow. You dig what I'm saying? Like, if it's a plant, you're not on the plant 24/7, watering it and everything like that. Sometimes you got to let that motherfucker breathe. And you got to let it grow. You got to let it take in sunlight. You got to let it go through its own little metamorphosis and everything like that to get to where it needs to be. You know? And it's okay to come back when, you know what I'm saying, something or someone is at an optimal level that's pleasing to you. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying like, damn, you give up on somebody, now they up, now you want to mess with them. I'm not saying with that. Sometimes, like, you got to take a break from certain situations, certain people, and be like, hey, you know, I got love for you, but I'm going to love you from a distance. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that either. I love a lot of motherfuckers from a distance. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? And it just be like that. And that's no ill will or no hate in my heart, because at the end of the day, I'ma still pray for you because you are my, you know what I'm saying? You my people. I rock with you. But right now, how you moving, or, you know what I'm saying, you might have done something that you conducting yourself in a way that, hey man, I just can't get down with. You know what I'm saying? Hey, people done had to love me from a distance. Straight up. I'm not perfect. It is what it is. But you know what? I respect it, because at the end of the day, right, you could still be rocking with me side by side, but tarnishing my name behind my back. You know what I'm saying? But instead, you respect me enough and you love me enough still to be like, hey, right now, if I stay around you, it's not going to be pretty. But I love you and I respect you. But I gotta have some distance. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I need to figure some things out. You need to figure some things out. So on and so forth. And it is what it is, man. So, hey, sometimes when stuff is not working out for you and you really trying and it seems like it ain't really no way out, it's okay to concede, because sometimes we really just bite off more than what we anticipated. And hey, that's the name of the game. You know what I'm saying? That's the name of the game. You know, we bit into some, kind of find out it's harder than what we imagined it to be. So, right, at that point, do you keep eating it? Do you keep chewing? You know what I'm saying? Nah. Because at that point, if you keep going, you might mess around and bust up all your teeth. Then when the next situation comes, you don't even have the tools necessary to reap that opportunity or that situation, because your tools is messed up. You broke yourself down. Self-destruction. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, man, it's okay to, you know, take a break, recalculate, recalibrate. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with solitude. You know what I'm saying? To really learn yourself and get to know yourself. I'm in that process now. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, it feels good. I'm back to recording and stuff like that because I love to record. So, hey, take the time out for you. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? And don't feel bad because at the end of the day, you got to have you before you can have anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me go look at these questions. I think I only got one. I'm lame. But shout out to my brother Jordan. I know he gave me one for sure. Hopefully I have like at least two. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't, that's cool. You know what I mean? I ain't really tripping. Let's see. Yeah, just one question. Hey, okay. So let's go to it. My boy asked, how do people stay consistent? Well, in my personal opinion, man, it is persistence and attention to detail. So how can I give an example? So I'm gonna go off the aspect of relationships and stuff like that, right? Okay. So let's keep it a stack, right? Every relationship has a honeymoon phase, right? That lasts like 4 to 6 months. Like you just all up in that person's butt and then that drop off comes, right? How do we stay consistent with somebody or just, because we're talking about the aspect of consistency, persistence, right? Okay. Now, granted, the frequency of what you do may decrease, but persistence will keep you to say, let me do at least something, right? And then I say attention to details because if you're going to do that one thing, like let's say you do something for your old lady, man, 2 times a month, or like you do something for her 4 times. So you do something once every week, okay? Right? So, right? Let's say this. So you're going to take her out, right? And you haven't taken her out in a while, okay? And you can't even fathom where to take her. Whole time, bro, she gonna tell you where she want to go. But she won't tell you like directly, I want to go there, man. She'll mention like, oh, this new place just opened up. You know what I'm saying? I think I want to try it, one day. Right? Mental notes, man. You got to watch film. I'm sorry I relate everything to sports. But you got to watch film on her. You got to study her. You know what I mean? Like, you watch film, you study, you execute. Attention to detail. For real. And then timing, right? Timing and preparation, consistency. Because you're staying consistent. We're talking about the concept now outside of a relationship. I would assume that if you're trying to be consistent, you're preparing for an opportunity that will come. You don't know when that opportunity will come, but at the end of the day, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, right? You have to fall in love with your preparation, your routine, how you get ready. You know what I'm saying? So like, for example, okay, if you're a boxer, but you don't have no name, right? You're starting out boxing and everything like that. You don't know when your first fight will come. You don't know who it's going to be, right? And that's honestly really the hardest part of the career, in my opinion, I would think. Because, damn, it's your first fight, right? You don't have no film on the guy. I'm assuming, unless you professional, he's big name and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you have to be ready. You have to be in shape. You have to be able to go the distance because you don't know what he's bringing to the table. You know what I'm saying? He might throw haymakers at you, or he might be technical. You know what I'm saying? He's real surgical with his hands and stuff like that. So if you messing with a technical nigga, right, who got the weave game and all that stuff, you have to be prepared to go the distance because he ain't trying to knock you out. But he said, I can tag your ass up and outscore you. You got to be prepared for that. You gotta fall in love with the preparation. You know what I'm saying? Attention to detail. You know what I'm saying? Attention to your preparation. You know what I mean? What can you get better at? You know what I'm saying? Maybe, your left doesn't hit as hard as your right. So, right, maybe, you might put more emphasis on your left hand. You know what I'm saying? So now, to the point where both hands are legal. Just, so let me break it down into one concise answer. You asked me, how do people stay consistent? First of all, you have to be persistent in what you do. You have to love what you do and love the preparation that goes into it, and attention to detail in your preparation. You have to just really analyze what you do, your craft, how you can become better at your craft, how you can just promote your craft more and improve it, whatever you do. Attention to detail, because if you don't care enough about what you do, who you are, anything like that, how can you expect somebody else to care? Real talk. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't care, I don't. That's just me. But I feel like a lot of other people rock like that in an indirect way. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you, like, okay, let me say it like this. If you over here pushing your mixtape out to me, right? Okay. And you giving me hard copies. Off top, I might not have the cash to buy that hard copy off you. But, nigga, I have streaming services, right? Apple Music, Spotify, the whole 9 yards. Nigga, the bare minimum, if you really want everybody to hear you, you need to be on every damn platform. For real, music-wise. You need to be on every damn platform. Now, granted, there's also different methods to this madness. You know what I mean? Because others will just focus on one platform, right? But I guarantee you that one platform is accessible to everybody. So, like, for example, I'm only exclusively YouTube. I chose this because YouTube is free. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't hurt my pockets and my production and anything like that, because I'll be honest, uploading to SoundCloud was costly. And I mean, I was doing numbers on SoundCloud, but at the same time, I felt like, it wasn't enough for me to consistently keep putting in $17 a month, because you like, well, $17 really ain't that much, but that adds up, because I'm like, that 17 can go in my gas tank, you feel me? And with the gas prices raising how they are now, nigga, I can't just be affording to just go willy-nilly, you know what I mean? So YouTube is accessible to everybody, right? And the quality of my post and podcast, I feel like, will significantly improve over time because I am focused on one area, right? Now, when I am ready to expand my operation, I will do so. You know what I'm saying? Timing, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I feel like that's how people stay consistent. To repeat the answer, you have to be persistent. You have to love what you do, love your preparation, and attention to detail, my brother. And that's all it takes, I believe. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, damn, we went to 30 minutes on this time. So you know what, y'all? I'm gonna call it here, because I'm gonna go ahead and get in the shower, stuff like that. I got work at 4, so you know how that shit go. But hey, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in once again, first time and last time listeners. It's all love, you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all have a blessed weekend this week. It's Halloween weekend, man. Y'all stay safe, man, for real, because every Halloween, man, something ridiculous or nutty happens, and like, in all honesty, man, we don't need that negativity. So I pray that y'all stay safe and y'all be blessed, man. Much love to y'all. Peace.